An oil and gas industry joint venture involves an oft-repeated sequence of events. For Gulf Coast Western, the process begins with an initial site evaluation. When the company's expert site analysts identify a promising location, the production team gears up for further exploration and possible development work. The associates continue to keep investors informed throughout the duration of the project. A well-chosen site can generate extended income for Gulf Coast Western and its investment partners alike. CEO Matthew Fleeger places a high value on investor communication. This practice commands respect from the company's partners and other industry professionals. Over time, mutually beneficial relationships often lead to subsequent investment opportunities. A full 70% of Gulf Coast Western's partners have been involved in multiple joint ventures. Onboarding joint ventures partners. Gulf Coast Western serves as the managing venturer for its numerous oil and gas partnership ventures. Bringing investors into the company's development process involves two important steps. By completing them in sequence, the company can verify that each investor is a good fit. In addition, Gulf Coast Western can ensure that each partner understands the workings of the oil and gas industry. Investor accreditation. Entering into an oil and gas partnership does involve some risk. Therefore, Gulf Coast Western limits its joint venture opportunities to accredited investors. Each accredited investor must meet one or more of the following criteria. Must be an individual who has a net worth of more than $1 million. Must be an individual who has assets over $200,000 in each of the 2 most recent years. Alternatively, the person has had joint income with their spouse of at least $300,000 in each of the 2 most recent years. In either case, the individual reasonably expects to achieve the same income level during the current year. Must be a legal entity in which every equity owner is an accredited investor. Must be an individual or legal entity that may otherwise qualify as an accredited investor. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, defines this term in Rule 501A of its Regulation D. Although Gulf Coast Western does not offer or sell securities, it believes that the SEC recommendations provide excellent guidelines for investors considering any oil or gas financial investment. The company's joint venture partners become valued members of their project's team. Besides becoming fully informed about the opportunity, investors understand that they are participating alongside a well-capitalized business with the resources to execute the project to completion. For any business opportunity, a potential investor wants to ensure that they are dealing with a reputable company. Stated another way, the investor wants to know that the firm possesses the infrastructure and resources to follow through on its promises. Gulf Coast Western meets both of these criteria. Gulf Coast Western's evolution. Established in 1970, Gulf Coast Western originally began as a small-scale venture on the United States Gulf Coast. Today, this Dallas-based firm has expanded its operations within this highly productive region, with thousands of acres available for upcoming development. Gulf Coast Western facilities are currently found in Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi. Other installations are located in Oklahoma, Kansas, and Colorado. The company continues to analyze other promising opportunities throughout the Gulf Coast and southwestern United States. During Gulf Coast Western's extended oil and gas industry history, the company has periodically encountered challenging economic conditions. When necessary, Gulf Coast Western has streamlined its operations and improved efficiencies. These strategies enabled Gulf Coast Western to thrive when many competitors were forced to drastically reduce operations or shut down entirely. CEO Matthew Fleeger's proven leadership has been a key player in the company's growth and expansion. He began his oil and gas industry career in the mid-1980s, shortly after graduating from Southern Methodist University with a business administration degree. During 8 informative years at Gulf Coast Western, which was founded by his father, Matthew Fleeger gained expertise in management, financial operations, sales, and marketing functions. His knowledge of corporate structures, mergers and acquisitions, and joint ventures proved to be invaluable in his subsequent endeavors. In 2009, Matthew Fleeger stepped into the Gulf Coast Western CEO office upon his father's retirement. This dynamic new chief executive officer immediately implemented plans for the company's strategic growth. Today, Matthew Fleeger continues to expand Gulf Coast Western's operations via a combination of acquisitions and partnerships. Maintaining good investor communications is essential for building mutually beneficial business relationships. In the oil and gas industry, Gulf Coast Western is known for its consistent focus on partner education. In turn, well-informed investors are more likely to have a satisfying investment experience. Matthew Fleeger knows that well-informed investors are well-positioned to make smart partnership decisions. To that end, he equips the company's investor-facing associates with the knowledge and tools to thoroughly explain joint venture opportunities to prospective partners. Fleeger insists on total transparency, ensuring that investors are provided with the pros and cons of every venture. He also insists on full disclosure in the areas of risk management, financial decision parameters, and engineering operations. Further, CEO Fleeger often personally assists partners in making investment decisions. Fleeger clearly and succinctly explains why it's important to equip Gulf Coast Western's partners with relevant industry and project knowledge. Education and awareness are always an investor's first line of defense against potential fraud, he emphasizes. We work hard to make sure our partners understand the risks and benefits of investing in oil and gas exploration. The company's commitment to transparency and its cultivation of long-term partner collaborations set it apart from its competitors. This positive, constructive approach has led to Gulf Coast Western's excellent Better Business Bureau standing. The company's A+ rating and its 5-star customer review results demonstrate that the firm actively responds to its partners' feedback. With this information in hand, Gulf Coast Western often makes changes that will help to deliver a better partnership experience. These positive interactions help to cultivate mutually beneficial long-term business relationships. Many partners have invested in multiple joint ventures. In addition, these satisfied investors often recommend Gulf Coast Western's investment opportunities to their colleagues, friends, and family members. Qualified joint venture partnership investors can benefit from several notable tax advantages. To illustrate, current law allows most partners to write off 100% of drilling expenses and production income against the investor's ordinary income. Other currently allowable tax benefits include organizational costs, prospect costs, syndication costs, depletion allowance, intangible drilling costs, intangible completion costs, lease operating expenses, lease and well equipment depreciation, net revenue from a producing well. In addition, specific tax rules may impact a partner's ability to take tax deductions from a Gulf Coast Western joint venture partnership. Before making an investment decision, each potential partner should obtain tax advice from a qualified tax advisor with prior oil and gas taxation and investment experience. Making an informed partnership decision. Potential Gulf Coast Western joint venture partners should thoroughly familiarize themselves with an endeavor's risks and potential benefits. If they decide to proceed, they will have ongoing support from an oil and gas industry leader with a proven track record.